everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we will let's see somehow go dive into magic methods or called Dunder methods, which is let's say customize the behavior of string and representation and equal. I'm quite sure that you have seen such methods in your code, for instance, or maybe a code in a GitHub or anything. And if you just remember what we have done, it's like when we create a class, we have added underscore init underscore, and this is the initial, let's see, the constructor called the constructor function for our class. And in Python, there are several, let's see, Dunder methods. Why it's called Dunder methods? It's like double underscore, but they take the D from the first one, from the first word double and underscore. It's dunder. It's called dunder. And as I said, this somehow help you to let's say to more organize your code and let's see make it let's say professional. And if you would like somehow to present your class or you need to print your object, so you need to somehow a string or representation, a string or RPR as a represent. And for instance, if you'd like to compare your objects, it's equal or less than, or sometimes you need to add some objects together, or maybe subtraction and the container methods, which is heavily used in computer vision when you would like to read some images from your hard disk. It's you have to use this get item. And let me just before going dive into the yeah. Okay, before going dive into this method, let's have a look. Let's see how the Python is working. Result one is equal, let's see, 5 plus 3 plus 5. And for instance, the result 2, it's like 5, it's like 5 and dot add and add this one here 3. And this is working internally in Python. If you see 5 plus 4, I mean if 3 plus 5, internally in Python, it's using this dunder method. And let's see result 3, it's equal, because we have used integer, we can use add, and we can add our values 3 and 5. And now let's compare this result. Will it have the same results? And let me just see mm, print print uh, let's see if are the are they have are they the same. And for that we need, why it's not print, yeah, let's see just like this. Res 1 is equal result 2 is equal result 3. And if the result 1 2 3 are equal, it should print true. What's happening here? Oh man. Okay, so this is, sorry, this is not a Python. I have to select this one here. Oh. And as you can see here, these are methods. Let's see, the results are the same. Either use this, and all of these, for instance, it's used internally in Python when you see 3 plus 5. And let's create an object without dunder methods. So let's me just create here a class. Let's see, class. I mean, before going dive into our methods, let's see dog, and we have def init. So you can see this is dunder method indeed. So we have name and age, right? And let's see self dot name is equal name, and self dot age is equal age. So I have covered everything related to the classes and inheritance in the previous videos. So please make sure that you watch this. And let's say I have this class, and now I need to create an object from this. Let's say d1 dog1, for instance, is dog. I have to create an object, and let's call this Booby. And the age, let's see, is 3 years old. 3 years old. And now let me just move it up. And here I have created an object. So now if I see I would like to print this, print the object d1. See what I can see? It's mean dog object, so it's not clear. So I need something to make it representative, and or maybe I can use, for instance, let's see, rep. If you see also this one here, it will be using the same. So d1, you can see it's the same object, the same output, and you also can see d1 dot represent, and you can see it should be also the same. Let me just see, add print, also here adding print. So you can see all of these outputs are the same. And if I see now, for instance, string str, and you can see it's just give us somehow output which is not clear. So now this is the idea how to create now a representative. So how to create this representative class? Let's say Dunder methods. You can just use def representation, and I will just show you what is the difference between representation and also the the string. And let's see, return f, and here's a dog. We have a name, self dot name, and also self dot age. And you can see now here, this is my object. I have called the name, and also this is like when I call this here. But let me just remove this because it's not a string. Let's see. And you can see now it's printing this. And representation, it's like used for, let's not use, but it's for a developer to understand the code. For instance, I have a class here which has two attributes or two arguments. And if I use let's see, def and a string, and here I can see just like this. Let me just copy this, or maybe the whole line, and this is somehow to make it readable, and like this dog, and for instance like. So you can see when I uh, print the object, and there's, let's see, the two Dunder method let's see, rebr and a string. It will use the string, and if I would like to call representation, I have to add it like this, or maybe this, or this one, not this is. So if you have representation and string, the default one will be str. So let me just go into the functions here. Okay, I have also added here the dog, but yeah, anyway, this is somehow to creating the images. Just an example, sometimes you don't have any image. Let's see, clear in your directory. So now there is a string and rib. So string is like a printing function that is human readable, and the representation is a function that display object with interacting in the interacting console. It's like when you have, as I showed you here, it's like showing the object and also the parameters and arguments. So try to use any of them. So let me here, so for instance, I have this class, sorry, I have this class image, and for the image I have data, the name, and also the shape of the data here. Now also the creation time, the creation time. Now I would like to add some representation for this class. When I create an object from this image, and when I say print this object, it should give me somehow readable text, not just like what we have seen in the beginning. It's already deleted. Let's see. Let me just see here. We need somehow clear text, not like this. So that's why we need somehow to create our functions here. And for that, let me just create these functions as it's the same as we have done, but with different, let's see, a string, and let's see if we see f self dot data is none. So if the image is empty, we can see return if image, let's see like this, self dot name. Now we need the curly brackets, self dot name is not, has no data, let's see, or maybe no data, just like this. And if otherwise, I mean, if the image has let's see, meaningful image, we can see, let's see, height width is equal self dot shape, and we need width and height. And for the color image, we can see channel is equal 1 if length of the self dot shape is equal to, else self dot shape, then the last one, so you can see 2 0 0 1, yeah, we need this 3, right? And let's see, here we have no, it's 2 indeed. And here we can see color type is equal, let's see, gray scale if channel is 1, right? Is equal 1, else it should be color images, right? Now here we see return, this is for a string representation, f. Now we can see image let's see, self dot name, and we need also to represent this one here, so we can see like this, width and height, then width, and here we can see color, let's see, no, this is not self, color type. So this will return us the color, the object of the image. And now if I see create, let's see here, create, this is, yeah, see, somehow I need image, or maybe before this we need to create also the def repre, representator. We can also use this just to see if the image it has no data. Maybe should be the same, or maybe, yeah, not the same, but like this. The, you can see here the parameter here is data. It should be none. Yes, oh, none. Then the name of the data should be presented. I think it should be like this. You can see cut just like this. So this is, for instance, the, if the image it's not it has no data, and else we can return this. As we have say, I've said the representation, the image. Okay, yeah, because this is, it's not self. So the if we use a string, we have to use it as readable text, and if the image, we can just use as image, and we need this indeed. Let's see, for instance, image, and we can somehow do this. We just remove this. Now we can see image. This is a class, and array with shape. So for instance, shape, I mean, this is you can type whatever you want, I mean, to represent. Let's see, self dot data dot shape. So to print the image, and also the type, this is after this. Array, where's the closing? We have one, two, close. Now we can see dt type. dt type is equal self dot dot data dot dt type, and also name is equal self dot name. So let's have just creating an object image. So I have to create, we already creating this image, which is image sample, this one here, and I can use as this one, image is equal image, and then image sample, image, yeah, our sample image, and here you can see sample, right? So now let's just print the string. Let's see, print. If we see print now image, we can see we have the, this will directly call the Dunder method string, and you can also use this. So print, for instance, a string, let's see, image, and it should be like a string image. So if you use this, it will automatically, or let's see, yeah, automatically call this function here. So now you can see the output of this function, it should be the same as this, the statements. what I have done here, yeah, of course, but this just added this string here. So let's remove it and see, and you can see it's the same. And if you need to print the representation, we have seen the previous example, but you can just use represent image, and you can see here represent image is shape is 300 blah blah blah, and the d type is unsigned integer 8, and the name is sample. This is somehow easy, and it's, let's say, make your code readable, professional, and easy, let's say, to debug if you use this. So the next one is when to use a string and when to use a representation. For me, I'm usually use a string, because when you write two, I mean both of these, the default one will be a string. But to call this representation, you have to explicitly mention this here. And you can see here, use string for human reader friendly representation. And you can see here image data type is like this, and for the representation, it's somehow an ambiguity representation that really allow recreation of the object. So to create object, you need this image as the image, and data type, and the name. Okay, so now there are also some other magic methods which use for comparison. Sometimes you need to make to see if the object one is equal to the object two, or maybe image one is the same as image two, and for that we need to create some functions. As you can see here, for instance, this one is equal, this here not equal, less than, uh, less than, or less and equal, greater than, and equal. So we can also extend this function here. So, but because it's already 22 minutes, I will try to write the code and come back to you. Wait a minute. Okay, so as you can see here, we have the string and representation, IEPR. And here we start with equal and less than and less equal. So here you can see the we have another object. Why we have another object? Because I will try to compare one object against the other object. So I have to add this as a parameter here, another. And for a good practice, you have to check if the other is an image object. Otherwise, it will give you, it will crash. But just try to make it like this. And now we need to compare, because here we have several methods, I mean several attributes. We need to check if they are the same. But for the creation, it shouldn't be the same. And I can see here, if data is none, or the other data is none, so in this case we have to return none. If not, we need to compare the ship, and also we need to check if the both images are equal. So let me just okay, because let me just remove this, and just to show you what is the equal it means. So when we try to check equal, as we have seen here, equal, it's this represented by this operator here. Now you can see with this is image 1 and this is image 2. Now image 1, it will be in the same class, it will be as self, okay, with the function now, and the image 2 will be other, the other object. So now we can see here if other, which is in our case is image 2, is an instance of image. This is obvious, yes. Now we will see now data.shape. Data.shape, it will be image 1, the image 1, and the other data.shape, it's image 2 in this example, for instance. And we have seen here to check if the I are equals. So here's the data, and the other one, the data, as we have said, image 1, and other the data it's image 2, and it's the same for the other examples. So let me just back to the code, and here we can see if the image is less than less than I mean number of compared to image based on number of pixels. And in this function, as I said, you have to make whatever you want. So for instance, you here we compare the maybe the number of pixels, and in your case maybe you can check the histogram, or maybe uh, let's say the sum of the pixels and of both images and etc. So this is not, let's say, a fixed example here to use, and you can use it in any field that you have two objects and you would like to, let's say, to compare between these two objects, less than or equal. So this you have to to identify which problem, let's say, you would like to solve, or let's say to show. And here less than, greater than, so here it's also the same, it's just comparing the pixels, and the other one is comparing the, if the pixels, let's see. So in this case it somehow makes sense to compare if the image is bigger or less, right? It's not as I said, you can for instance see, I need to compare the images if they have the same number of ones, if they have the same number of zeros, if they have the same number of whatever. So this is up to you. And here we see if we have created three different images, and now we test the quality. So you can see image 1 and image 2 and should be false. Why? Because here you can see the image sample 300 times 2, 200, and here 400 times 300. But image 1 and image 2 has to give you true. And yeah, this for instance, to if you would like to copy an image, of course it's the same, it has to be true. And this is less than or equal, just you need to make sure that this is the first object and this is the other object. So for instance, this is image 1. I mean, for example, if you have an error and you would like to debug, let's see, and you have to use this, for instance, greater or equal, this is image, which is the data itself, the data 1, this one. And the image 3 is the other object. Hopefully this is clear. And by the way, if you see here greater than, if the object has different, let's see, is another object, so it has to be to give you an error. And let me just show you here what I mean. For instance, I have create, let's say create, we still have a doc1, let's see, d1 is equal doc, and Bobby, and also 30. Oh, 3 years. Is it working? Yeah, it's valid, but I have no idea why it's doc is not defined. It has to be in this block. As I said mentioned many times, that I'm not, let's see, a fan of Jupyter Notebook, but it's just for you to make things easier. Now, if I see I would like to compare this object, let let's see, object image 2 and d1, and we can see image 2 and here's d1. Now, what are you expected here? So I have image 2, which will go to greater than or equal, right? And it will try to check if the other is an instance of image. In our case, it's not, because yeah, others, yeah. In our case, d1, it's not. It's a doc. Uh, it's a doc instance. It's not from image instance. So in this case, it will return not implemented. So let's just check, and you can see here type not supported between instances. And please not try to return not implemented. If you see, I just return false. Oh, sorry, false. And in this case, you can see it will just give us a false, which is, I mean, there's no way to compare between object image and object doc. So that's why they try to avoid returning false in this case if it's not instance of the of this object. Try to use not implemented. So not implemented will give you a hint that, hey, stop, there's exceptions here. You have no right to compare between these two objects. Just so hopefully this is clear. Yeah, and he try to use not implemented, not a false. Let's see, returning false. And there's also here a mathematical operation, add subtraction. For example, you would like to add two images. You would like to make subtraction, multiple division and power and everything. So this also represented in the Python itself, which is also included to the Dunder methods. As you can see here, this is the image, and with add, you can see here add. I will check also the same as we have done before, if the other is instance of image, and if so, we will use cv.add, and we will add the data here, and result will return the result data and the name. So this is, I mean, I think this is clear. And for multiplication, you can also use multiply these images, and also you need somehow this scale to avoid overflow. Sometimes if you multiply 200 by 200 by, sometimes you will get value out of the range of the integer. So try to use a scale. And I think this is we can, for instance, here to use. I will just because it's already 30 minutes. I would like to try to extend this function here to this class and add creating some objects and see applying this image one and image two and etc. If you have no idea, or let's see you need help, just drop comment below. I will read it and give you the whole example. Now this is the most, let's see, important thing here, which is get item. And if you see any deep learning algorithms, or let's see reading from a hard disk, you need to read images or maybe text, or I don't know. So sometimes you don't have the ability to read all of these images in your hard disk. So get item is a perfect Dunder method for you, which is of course used by several reading images in a Python. And just for instance, you can see here get item. We will see it in the next example. As it, just let me just mention this before I forget. Last time I have, uh, let's see, last time we have this class here, and we have figured out that this class is written in a bad way. We have figured out what are the weakness of this code and how to optimize this code. So for that, I have also presented this here, which is, you can see, a base class, which is present only the basic image processor, and also I have here the main uh, Jupyter notebook, how to use this. And now in the next time I will try to include, or let's see, integrate these Dunder methods in our example like this here. We will try to add, for instance, adding representation, maybe string, maybe uh, greater or equal. So I will try to check, let's see, what are the most, let's see, relevant Dunder methods, and I will add it in this classes, and I will show you what we have to do and where to put these Dunder methods. So let's be back here, and I hit this also the methods that we need to take care. What is the error here? Image sample, it's not defined. Why? So we have to go up. I haven't delete anything, but yeah. So let's see. I think this one continues. It should work now. So as you can see here, sometimes I have this image here, and I would like, let's say, to have only a set of pixels or maybe one pixel. And let's say, for instance, this image here, I get it will try when I see image 100 and 150. Let's say I need this pixel. It will try to call this function get item, and in the get item, it's just giving you the sorry. Yeah, it will give you only the data itself, the the key, the value. And this is, I think, clear. And now what we have done here, it's like, I mean, this callable object, I haven't added here. I haven't added this, but I will discuss this next time with somehow when I call when I discuss the PyTorch, because PyTorch, it's maybe yeah, it's like a PyTorch forward function. So this one here, it's like when you add an object, creating an object, this will try to call this function. But never mind, I will just discuss it next time. So best practice, please try to use not implemented. If there's any unsupported operations, don't use false. Okay, and maybe next step, I'm not quite sure if we can cover this, but if not, try to see all of these. Sometimes I haven't even used these, but maybe exist or maybe enter. Just somehow you would like to calculate the time of each, let's see, function, or let's see, making the inference prediction. And you need to see when it's entered the class and when it's exit. And based on that, you can calculate the time. So of course, this we will see it in the more advanced topics. And yeah, for example, you can also use, there are several Dunder methods, which is, for instance, negative, absolute, and power and infinite. So try to have maybe implement this, extend this example here. Yes, and as you have seen here, I have spent much time to prepare this, and please subscribe into my channel, like the video, and of course comment, add a comment in this video. Of course, if you have any question, just drop it down in the comment below. Of course, I'm reading every comment. So yeah, thanks for watching and see you next time.